This is part 4 of teachings from the Forgotten Book of Enoch. And before I begin with the teachings part, I want to share something that happened to me a couple of days ago while I was at work. Some guy that I've never seen before just happened to walk by me, turned around, and looked at me with this really chilling and evil glare for about 3 to 4 seconds before turned around and walked away. And I have to admit, I was kind of freaked out by the look that he gave me, and the first thing that came to my mind was, why is this guy looking at me this way? I don't even know him. And the second thing to come to my mind was, well, it's probably because he's a demon. Now, if you've ever had an experience like that, you know what I'm talking about, and you know that the person who looks at you in such a manner is a demon. Alright? And also, I also want to read this quick excerpt from a book called American Witch Magic for the Modern Seeker. It's about witchcraft and Wiccans and such things. And this excerpt from the book describes a man named Mark who calls himself a Gothic witch. And we all know what Goths are. We all know that they dress in black. And we all know that they're obsessed with death and pain and darkness and things of that nature. And so it starts on page 4. It says, Mark began combining elements of shamanism into his practice. The altered states of consciousness took him, he said, to an inner sanctum of the underworld. Honestly, I don't know what the hell that means. But it was through the darkness and through the invocation of darker deities like Hecate and Anubis that he found great power and awakening. Through the darkness, and he's invoking the spirits of these darker deities, Hecate and Anubis. And it says he found great power, demonic power, of course, and awakening. Well, that's not awakening. Page 5. I asked Mark to provide me with an example of the kind of rituals he performs. Page 6. Mark reached for the black handkerchief and unfolded it, and describes a scene where Mark's got a black handkerchief, a black candle burning inside of his living room, and inside the handkerchief was a razor. I don't have any idea why he keeps a razor inside a black handkerchief in his living room. But Mark swiped the razor across his palm, cuts himself open with it, and bleeds. And he goes on to say, I'm not feeling any pain right now because I'm in control of it with my mind and the energy I've just raised. Now, this is a real life account of a man who refers to himself as a Gothic witch, but is really a devil worshiper. And what does this ritual here sound like to you? He's just cut himself open with a razor, and then he says he doesn't feel anything. Whatever, I mean. Mark is a child of the devil. That's what he is. And that's what all these people out there like Mark are too. And you really got to watch out for these people because, you know, they're psychic vampires, basically. And now begins Enoch chapter 51. There my eyes beheld the secrets of heaven and all which existed on earth. A mountain of iron, a mountain of copper, a mountain of silver, a mountain of gold, a mountain of fluid metal, and a mountain of lead. And I inquired of the angel who went with me, saying, What are these things, which in secret I behold? And that angel of peace answered me, saying, Wait but a short time, and you shall understand, and every secret thing shall be revealed to you, which the Lord of spirits has decreed. All these things shall be rejected. All these things that were described, the mountain of gold, the mountain of silver, and other such riches shall be rejected and perish from off the earth, when the elect one shall appear in the presence of the Lord of spirits. And it's not talking about an actual mountain like, say, Mount Vesuvius or anything, because there's no such thing as an actual mountain made out of gold or an actual mountain made out of silver. But what it's saying is that these individuals who possess mountains of gold and silver, so to speak, and since we really don't use gold or silver for money anymore, in modern times it referred to mountains of cash. These people who've got mountains of cash, well, when it comes time for the Lord to return, and when it comes time for the old way to be destroyed, and the new way, the age of peace, to begin, their mountains of cash, and mountains of gold, mountains of silver, and whatever else they might have, will be useless. They won't even be able to use it to buy a can of soup anymore. All these things shall be rejected and perish from off the earth, when the elect one shall appear in the presence of the Lord of spirits. And chapter 53 and verse 1, Then I looked and turned myself to another part of the earth, where I beheld a deep valley burning with fire. In verse 2, To this valley they brought monarchs and the mighty. Chapter 53 verse 6, Michael and Gabriel, Raphael and Phanuel shall be strengthened in that day, and shall then cast them into a furnace of blazing fire. Let me go back to the beginning. Where I beheld a deep valley burning with fire, and to this valley they brought the monarchs and the mighty. Those are the people who possess the mountains of money, mountains of material things, huge houses, limousines, all the riches that they could ever want, and enough food to keep them fed for the rest of their lives, so on and so forth. And the monarchs and the mighty, like, for example, the Queen of England, who thinks that she's so mighty right now, thinks she's got everything, but her soul will never be saved. And she's going to be cast into this furnace of blazing fire right along with the rest of people like her. And also, we could say the same about all the people out there like Mark, who've given their lives over to the dark forces, powers of evil, and demons. And yes, there are people out there who were born with no salvation, and these people know exactly who they are. That the Lord of spirits may be avenged of them for their crimes, because they became ministers of Satan and seduced those who dwell upon earth. And it's talking here about the chiefs at the top of the Illuminati pyramid, ministers of Satan, who seduced quite a few people into following them. And they've even been able to manipulate people into accepting their evil microchip injected into their bodies. And once you inject a microchip in your body, you belong to them. They've actually been able to trick and manipulate people into doing that. And the microchip just happens to be the mark of the beast. And once you accept it, you've accepted the mark of the beast into your body. So, really, if you haven't been manipulated in this way, don't be. Chapter 56, verse 2. Blessed are you, O saints and elect, for glorious is your lot. Chapter 56, verse 3. The saints shall exist in the light of the sun, and the elect in the light of everlasting life, the days of whose life shall never terminate, nor shall the days of the saints be numbered, who seek for light and obtain righteousness with the Lord of spirits. And this means is the saints shall exist in the light of the sun, which isn't the same as worshiping it. It just means that you're not practicing Gothic witchcraft, demon worship, and other such thing. And it also means that you were born with the ability to be saved. And if you're born with the ability to be saved, and you don't decide to follow evil, you'll be alright. Chapter 58, verse 5. But when the time shall come, then shall the power of the punishment and the judgment take place, which the Lord of spirits has prepared for those who prostrate themselves to the judgment of righteousness, for those who abjure that judgment, and for those who take his name in vain, which means just what it says. Chapter 60. Then the Lord of spirits, seated upon the throne of his glory, the elect one, who shall judge all the works of the holy in heaven above, and in a balance shall he weigh their actions. Now, your every action is going to be taken note of and judged, and what that means is you want to make sure that you produce good fruit. You want to make sure that you don't behave like some of these people out there who join up with the Freemasons. Because, well, first of all, Freemasons are Satan worshippers. Do you want to be a Freemason? Because if you want to be a Freemason, you're a Satan worshiper. You want to be a Satan worshiper, don't go joining up with them. He shall call to every power of the heavens, to all the holy above, and to the power of God, the cherubim, the seraphim, and the Ophanim, all the angels of power, and all the angels of the Lord's, namely of the elect one, and of the other power. That's chapter 60, verse 13. And all the angels of power and all the angels of the Lord, namely the elect one, shall be called. We're going to call them up. And chapter 60, verse 14. All the other power shall raise their united voice, shall bless, glorify, praise, and exalt with the spirit of faith, with the spirit of wisdom and patience, with the spirit of mercy, with the spirit of judgment and peace, and with the spirit of benevolence. All shall say with united voice, Blessed is he, and the name of the Lord of spirits shall be blessed forever and forever. All who sleep not shall bless it in heaven above. And notice how it says, all who sleep not shall be blessed. The Lord of spirits shall be blessed. All who don't sleep. And well, you notice that once your eyes have been opened, you understand everything that you need to understand. Like, if you need to understand exactly what's going on right now with the New World Order, then you will understand it so that you can resist it. And that's what you gotta do. You gotta resist the New World Order, because the New World Order is temporary. And it's satanic, but like I was just saying, it's not going to last forever. There's no way that the New World Order could last forever. And so what you gotta do, open your eyes, resist it, and turn your back on it.